All right, what's up, guys? It's KZ here. I just wanted to go ahead and quickly do a UFC 315 full card recap, just go over all the outcomes, essentially just glaze myself a little bit for my picks. Your boy went 9-12. Most likely tomorrow here on Thursday. Oh, wait, no, yeah. Yeah, most likely on Thursday, maybe tomorrow here on Wednesday. Might be Friday drop again, but your boy's going to do his research. Just like the rest of you guys, I work for a living, I'm a mofo, be busy working, So, I try to do the best research I can to, not give you guys some half-assed picks that I haven't really looked into the fight. So you got to give me some time. I'm going to look over everything to the best of my ability, and then I'm going to come on here and let you guys know what I'm thinking. But let's just go ahead and run up the card here. Beksat Almakhan, Brad Katona. This was quick. Both guys, neither guy really threw anything this whole time. You can see here from the strike numbers. Brad Katona only landed one strike. And then Beksat landed 8 strikes. I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure if there was any ground and pound after he dropped him. It might have been. But yeah, that was super quick. And then neither guy threw anything until Beksat just knocked him out at the end of the first round. And, your boy picked Beksat KO. I said he has a more potent striking. Brad Katona's tough, but damn, bro, he just couldn't take that power. Beksat hits like a truck, dude. And then I was wrong here, unfortunately, on Lee Jong-yang against Daniel Santos. I mean, Daniel Santos was the smaller guy, but he was also the better fighter. He was looking good with his head movement, with the boxing. Lee was coming wide with big looping hooks, and then Daniel Santos was hitting with nice little duck unders with the boxing. And, he looked good. He beat Lee to a decision. He was getting good takedowns, having good control in the fight. And, he exposed Lee as just kind of a low fight IQ brawler. So Daniel Santos is a good fighter. Careful to fade him again in the future. Who knows if he's going to stay at 145 or go back down to 135. But, he looked good last night, and I wish I would have fucking picked him. It is what it is. And then we got Marc-Andre Barriault, Bruno Silva, man. This was brutal. Marc-Andre Barriault got him out of there quickly. He got him out of there brutally. Bruno Silva had to be stretchered out of the octagon. That shit was crazy. Marc-Andre Barriault hit Bruno Silva with a huge elbow as Bruno Silva was kind of just cowering against the cage. So that might have been why Bruno Silva hurt his neck. It might have been from the elbow, or who knows what it was from. Because Bruno Silva was kind of like cowering down like this. So it's like his neck was kind of crunched up, right? And then Marc-Andre Barriault hits him with a hard elbow on the top of his head, probably crunched his neck down a little bit. Probably is the source of the horrible neck pain, I would imagine. Shit doesn't help. So, yeah, shouts out to Bruno Silva. Hopefully that guy's okay. And he's not going to deal with issues from that. But, Marc-Andre Barriault came back with a big win in Canada. I also picked Marc-Andre just to freaking continue blazing myself for my immaculate, amazing picks that you guys should be on the lookout for coming up this week. I'm just fucking around. Okay, let's keep running. So, because I was confident on Radke and he got knocked the fuck out. So how immaculate are my picks? And Radke was in all my parlays. I should have hedged with Malat, but I lost everything. But moving on. Modestas Bukauskas versus Ion Cutelaba. A lot of people thought that this was a robbery. Ion Cutelaba had more than double the strikes landed than Modestas. But I picked Modestas, so it's like when he got the decision, I was like, yeah, of course. But, everybody was saying how this was a horrible robbery, so maybe I'm just biased because I picked him. So, and he was like a leg in a majority of my parlays. So I was rooting for Modestas Bukauskas to win. So when he won, I was like, fuck yeah. I wasn't like, oh, it was a robbery. I was like, fuck, my fucking parlay is still alive. Woo! And then, speaking of still alive, Radke was not still alive after he got knocked the fuck out by Mike Milan and ruined all my parlays. But anyways, moving on to Jasmine Jasudavicius, Jessica Andrade. I picked Jazz to get that done by submission. She was one of the legs in my KZ cycle, Jasmine by submission. The KZ cycle that fucking Radke fucked up by getting knocked out. But yeah, Jasmine, Jessica, she struggles with the big wrestlers. I know I jumped right from Modestas to Jasmine. And Jessica, just, without really covering Modestus and E1. I'll get back to it. I'm sorry. ADHD brain. I apologize. I'll try to do better in the future, and that's all I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? Customer service skills on display. So, yeah, I said Jessica Andrade struggles with the bigger wrestlers, and that's exactly what Jasmine is. And, she took her down, took advantage of, her size advantage, and just got Jessica out of there by submission. Easy peasy. It was she had her like in a rear naked choke. Yeah, she eventually got to Jessica's back, and then she was able to get her out of there. But yeah, so we got Modestus, E1. I mean, E1 was kind of pressuring forward with his crazy caveman pressure, and Modestus was kind of picking at him, landing shots, running away essentially the entire time. And E1 was just kind of bulldozing forward, just trying to land his big power shots. It was kind of just like a bull in the matador fight. Maybe Modestus landed the more effective shots, and that's why the judges gave it to him. Or maybe that just might be me coping. But either way, Modestus won the fight, regardless of the robbery, and my pick was correct. Maybe if the judges judged the fight as they should have, my pick would have been incorrect. But, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What can I tell you guys? I didn't judge the fight. I just picked the shit. All right? And then we got Charles Radke versus Mike Malott. Charles Radke came in talking a whole bunch of shit about Canada, a whole bunch of shit about America, about how he's the shit. And he gave Mike Malott all the ammunition, all the motivation, all the desire to knock him the fuck out, which is exactly what he did. So Charles Radke failed me, failed a lot of us, ruined our parlays. If you picked Mike Malott, good for you. I'm just jealous of you, I guess. That's all I really fucking have to say about that. I'm just pissed off that fucking Radke fucked up all my shit. You know what I'm saying? I had so much money riding on this. Not really. I had like maybe $40, but I would have won so much money if he would have won. You know what I mean? Like, I had so much hypothetical potential money that was going to come to me, I guess is a better way to put that. But, it is what it is. You live and you learn. Hopefully, we do better next week. We don't go 9 out of 12. We go perfect. We sweep that shit. But we'll see. I'll go ahead and try to look into everything to the best of my ability and pick this shit using my brain. So we're going to keep running up this card. The main card of 315 was sick. Benoit Saint-Denis knocked the shit out of Kyle. No, he didn't even knock the shit out of Kyle. Well, he kind of did in the second round. But I was expecting a little bit more violence from Benoit Saint-Denis. He was kind of wrestle heavy early on. He kind of picked it up with his striking in the second round. He was able to hurt Kyle Prepolek on the feet, and then he eventually got the submission there. But yeah, Benoit, I feel like he should have ran over this guy a little bit harder. Like, you're in the UFC, you're active, you're fighting top guys. This is just a UFC dropout essentially that got cut. And you took him into the second round. You're kind of controlling a lot of the first round. I feel like this should be a guy you should be getting out of there in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Benoit Saint-Denis. But yeah, Benoit, he got him out of there. He finished him. It's not like Kyle Prepolek had much success in the fight, but he was able to, survive until the second round, which a lot of people said over the week that would be a win. So Kyle Prepolek looked better than people thought he would, and Benoit still got the job done as many thought that he would as well. So yeah, Natalia Silva, Alexa Grasso. I called Natalia Silva decision. That's what she did. I just felt like Natalia Silva's footwork was just way too her footwork is just fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? She's so fast. She moves around so well. She has the jukes. She moves from side to side, lateral movement. She'll instantaneously be moving from right to left to right to left. There's no hitch in her step whatsoever. Everything's just seamless. Everything is just perfect, dialed in with the footwork. And then Alexa was just following her all night, and Natalia was just piecing her up. Beep, 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 kicks, punches, just making Alexa look kind of silly out there, probably fucking having Alexa super pissed. I imagine Alexa Grasso is fucking pissed off after that, because I can imagine fighting Natalia Silva is infuriating. It's almost kind of like fighting Michael Venom Page or like a Wonder Boy type, where they're so good with the movement. They draw you in, and they just fucking piece you up as you're coming forward, and they just plant their feet, bing, 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 get out of the way, plant their feet, bing, 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 and you can't catch them. It's just so irritating to fight. I can imagine because I'm a fucking flat-footed bastard myself. Like Natalia Silva would piece me out. So I don't got the footwork to deal with her, bro. She'll be kicking me in the face and shit. But yeah, man, she looked really great. I feel like she's going to be the next one to fight Valentina. If it's not, yeah, I mean, Macy Barber, Aaron Blanchfield better fighting. Like, there's no way. Like, Natalia Silva just dominated Alexa Grasso. She should definitely get the next title shot. If it's not Zhang Weili, I wouldn't argue a Zhang Weili title shot. But yeah, Natalia Silva would definitely be more deserving of it if out of any of the other flyweights. But yeah, moving on here. Ayman Zahabi, Jose Aldo. I was expecting Ayman Zahabi to get it done via like a boring, stalling, lay and pray wrestle fest. A lot of people thought that this was a robbery. I gave it to Zahabi 2-3, most likely because I picked Zahabi. But it's like, a little bit of bias involved in there. But I mean, Zahabi kind of did good. He did good in round 2. It's not like Jose Aldo beat the shit out of him in round 2. And this was a kickboxing stand-up war. This was not a lay and pray stalling performance from Ayman Zahabi. So robbery or not, at least Ayman Zahabi sat in there and fought like a fucking savage fucking bastard. You know what I mean? He fought like a man in there. He didn't try to hold Aldo up against the fence like Mario Bautista. He didn't like shoot takedowns, and as soon as the referee separated them, shoot again. Oh my God, I'm so scared to strike. No, he was fucking in there just battling. He was in there having a war with Jose Aldo. So, you got to give the guy some credit for that. Whether or not you think it was a robbery, but fucking Ayman Zahabi beat the shit out of Jose Aldo in that third round at the end of it, hitting him with the elbows, the ground and pound. I mean, yeah, he got soccer kicked in the face, which should have been illegal though. So he should have won by disqualification after he got illegally soccer kicked anyways. So, shit. Okay, well, I'm just fucking around, but yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like Zahabi won that second round. It was close, and then I feel like he won round 3 with the ground and pound. I might be biased because I picked Zahabi, like I said, but that's just how I feel. And sometimes people have different opinions than you, man. If that makes you upset, then you should take a long look in the mirror and think about your life. But yeah, Manon Fiorot, Valentina Shevchenko. I picked Fiorot, but I said I wouldn't be shocked if Valentina got it done. She's the second greatest female fighter of all time behind Amanda Nunes. And she proved that once again, making me look like a dumbass for picking against her. She fucking hurt Manon early in that first round. I mean, she just fucked her up with the right hand, with the lead hook, with the jab. She's busted up Manon's nose early on. Manon kind of rallied back with the control, clinching. She didn't really land too much significant. She was just kind of trying to wrestle with Valentina up. But yeah, Valentina showed why she is the GOAT and why picking against her was silly. But yeah, man, Valentina looked great. It wasn't the most exciting fight in the world. A lot of control time, a lot of just, technical kickboxing exchanges. Valentina dropped Manon, but it wasn't really anything super, super thudding. She kind of caught her off balance, kind of cracked her up a little bit, but it wasn't like a crazy, like, center chin flying the other way kind of rock. But yeah, I mean, Valentina won. I should have picked Valentina, but it is what it is. I mean, Manon looked good. She made it close. I'm pretty sure she won 2 rounds. So, Manon was big. She was physical in there. That's why I picked her. But Valentina was just the better fighter. Can Manon win the title in the future? Potentially. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, moving on here. Jack Della Maddalena versus Bilal Muhammad. This was a sick-ass fight. Man, you got to give Bilal his respect. I picked Jack Della Maddalena coming into it. I thought Bilal was going to be wrestling a lot more, trying to lay and pray a lot more. I didn't think that he was going to be as willing to strike, as willing to exchange with Jack as he was. So and he was tough as fuck, dude. He took a lot of shots, so you got to give Bilal credit. That was not a boring fight, and he could have tried to wrestle more, but he made a point not to. But I was going to say something else about JDM versus Bilal. Yeah, this was a fucking sick fight. Once I get onto a tangent, I forget about my original point. But yeah, Jack looked good, man. I picked him. I thought that he defended the takedowns well. He landed more damaging shots on Bilal. He was the more effective striker in there. But yeah, man, it was a war. It was a war. Bilal had a lot more success on the feet than I thought he was. Than I thought he would. He had a lot more to offer on the feet than I thought he was going to, just like in terms of volume. I thought that he was going to be more like wrestle heavy, like because with Leon he just shot a takedown and secured it in like the first 15 seconds of round one. So I was expecting him, to shoot early in the fight, but he shot like time towards the end of round one. His takedowns were like sparing. He was shooting takedowns. They would get stopped, and then he would just go back to striking. He took a lot of big shots, like I said, but he fucking fought his ass off, dude. So Bilal gained some respect even in the loss. He didn't go out there try to run away and just hug him the whole time. He went in there to fight like a fucking man, fight like a man for the UFC fans. So we got to give him a bit of respect for that one. But yeah, JDM gets it done. That was a sick ass fucking fight. I'm surprised he didn't get the KO, but I called that he could beat Bilal up to a decision. Your boy, you call your boy Mystic Mac, Mystic KZ. No, I'm not gonna fuck around. I'm gonna stay humble, brother. Because watch, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of fucking picks wrong next week, or I'm gonna get a bunch right. But this game is uncruel and unforgiving. Okay, so if you get a big dick, the MMA gods are gonna come around and fucking smash it with a hammer, and then you're gonna be like, So you just can't. The MMA gods smashed my dick with a hammer with Radke, because I had the KZ cycle last week was Silva decision, Jasmine submission, Radke KO. Silva gets the decision, Jasmine gets the submission, Radke gets knocked the fuck out. And my $5 did not turn into $155. So fuck me with a barbed wire bat. Actually don't. But yeah, man, you know what it is. It's like you bet, you lose, you hope you fucking win next time. And we're going to go ahead and cook up something good next card, and hopefully this shit hits. But yeah, that was it. I just want to do a quick recap because I made this thumbnail and I didn't want it to go to waste. And I just wanted to put something up for you guys. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time in a couple of days with my picks for Burns versus Morales. Peace out.